Good afternoon. Hope you can hear me all right. It's just a lovely day on a sad kind of day. Just got back from a funeral. A friend of ours, her mom passed away. I'm not a religious guy, but, you know, something about a church and the service and the ritual. I do enjoy the peace be with you at the end. But it was actually a very well done service, even though the priest sounded like the guy from Serpent and the Rainbow. So I was having flashbacks to one of the most scariest movies I've ever seen in my life. If you've never seen Serpent and the Rainbow from 1988, it was him. It was the same guy. It was kind of frightening for a while. And the way he would say, Jesus Christ. And he was just, I think he was embellishing this whole, he had that, what's the accent? West Indian accent. But he was laying down some thoughtful stuff, even though he was kind of frightening. But it just always reminds me that we really should enjoy every day as much as possible. And we spend way too much time complaining and condemning others and hating other people. And, next thing you know, it's 20 years later. You're living with regret about what you may or may not have said to your siblings or your friends that you don't see anymore, and your family is not as tight as you think they should be. All that stuff. You start to think about that, and then you also just start to think about that we tend to dwell on the negative. And somebody said this to me at the football game. He's like, damn, I'm feeling good today. I just want to let everybody know. He's like, because when I feel like shit, I certainly let everybody know, and I'm always complaining. So you know what? I never take the time to talk about how good I feel and make sure everybody knows how good I feel. I'm like, you know what? That's actually a great point. You never take a step back and say, damn, I feel pretty good today. My back's not hurting. My stomach's all right. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not sleepy. It's a pretty good day. Beautiful weather. And here we are. And it also brings me to the point where, we're very lucky. Well, you got to appreciate everything that you have. And, again, if you are doing what we do as traders who can make a living, again, it's relative. Some people use this as a hobby. Some people are just, like me, I play the game. To me, it's a game. It's fun. It's like a video game every day. And I love teaching people what I've picked up and from all the bad things that have happened to me in this quote-unquote career, all the mistakes that I've made, all the self-induced bad trades or bad ideas. And it really does come down to, being wise is more important than being smart. Being wise and being smart are two separate things. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm still kind of confused where my daughter came from. I guess my dad's a smart guy, skipped a generation. My daughter got it. My son's pretty smart. But book smart, I don't know, never took it too serious enough. And then my brain doesn't work that well. Never did. I had OCD, ADD, all that stuff. I had a hard time paying attention. That's why what I do now, it fits the mold of a person that I'm in, because it gives me something to really, really focus in. And I love talking. So I've actually just forged a career out of the only two things I'm actually good at. Talking shit and looking at charts and pseudo-predicting. Again, it's not really predicting when you're just reacting to something. But I want to just sum this whole conversation up that I think 2023 is turning out to be one of the most textbook years in the world of trading. And if you read about the market, everybody reads a little bit about the market. If you read about it, hey, what's up? If you've done due diligence and research on the market, and, seasonality is what we're in right now. And, again, what people expect this year as much as it caught people off guard because a lot of people thought we were going to go into a recession to start the year, but if you look back now, the market did almost a textbook circumstance. You had some weakness at the end of last year to make us all a little bit scared. And then we have what we call the January effect. We usually have a good January, and so goes January, so goes the year. So that was the first thing. So goes January, so goes the year. And so far, that's playing out. And the negativity that began or was still there in October of last year, and the idea that we were going to a recession, everything was going to get awful. And of course, the internet with the doom porn and all that, and how we're all going to die for one reason or another. And then we made it. So you went from skepticism, that's the best type of bull market, the skeptical, the wall of worry. And that's what we established, January, February, March. And then March, we had the one moment where the market, more or less corrected. So a very good market. We rallied. Skepticism became, dipping toes in. That became an enthusiastic rally. That rally then became a real rally. And then that rally then became what we're in right now. The late stage of a bull market that may or may not have began in June of last year. I think it really started in October of last year. Really didn't get its footing till this year in March. Let's not forget, everyone's talking about last year and June and the Josh Brown bottom and the pivot in October. We did have a sell-off in December, which kind of felt kind of scary. And then again in March, where we really tested the support of this market. That was this year in March. And that's when the real turn came. And that's when I got super bullish. And, again, I blew April, screwed up the entire month because of my skepticism. I had great positions on. And I had to rebuy all those positions. And you know what? It worked out pretty well. The CDLXs and the Carvanas and the Rivians and the AAOIs and that list that I gave everybody. And then came the next phase of the market. And again, it worked perfectly. We got into the elation stage, the everybody has to get in stage, the stage of the fear of missing out stage. And then the later stage is when the media starts to finally say, hey, looks like a bull market. And when did that happen? That happened in June. And when did we start to run out of steam in the bull market? More or less June. We still had that last burst. And if you don't remember, we had a record-breaking run in the Dow Jones right before the correction. Do you think that was a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. The market was more or less padding what it knew was going to happen next. So we wanted to overextend the gains to then be able to withstand the correction. And the correction, which is what we're in right now, leads right into the conversation that we need to have about seasonality. This market, as I said when I first got started, is doing exactly what it should be doing, and that's very rare. It's doing exactly what it should be doing. We had an amazing rally. We had a little bit of a correction in March. We tacked on another new high. We got to the elation stage. The elation stage, the fear of missing out people who are the last ones in, they have probably gotten scared out of the market. When we doubled and triple topped May, June, and July, they're probably panicking and selling already. The people that already had massive profits are just taking profits here. And then that led into, a decent August. August is, 50-50. Not many people know exactly how to play August anymore. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's awful, sometimes it's fantastic, and sometimes it's just, a nice up month and not much going on, which then leads into the seasonality of September. And we've all learned that you should be looking for some selling in September. And here we are. And then they talk about how Yom Kippur, the Rosh Hashanah, sell Rosh Hashanah and buy Yom Kippur. This is that week. And we're having that moment of weakness, which was already started on the September seasonality weakness of the market. So if you're going to write a story about the stock market, 2023 is actually is more textbook than any year I remember. Everything's working out perfectly. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are participating in it like you should. No need to own stocks. And again, this is why I don't own stocks. I sold most of everything when I got back from August. And again, not criticizing, but again, if you're up huge like Kathy Wood was, why not take profits? No shame. I was a little disappointed in some of my exits on those trades, but these last 3 days, the stocks that I was a little disappointed in that I had sold out of prematurely were pretty great shorts. Finally, CDLX short, Carvana short, and a handful. Appreciate it. Yeah. And here we are. And I really just think 2023 is turning into be one of the more textbook years of trading. And the liquidity behind the market is phenomenal. You're able to get in and get out. You got a couple of crazy IPOs a couple of crazy weird biotechs every day. We got some IPOs that are going nuts, the pump and dumps. So basically everything that I've witnessed for 30 years, it's all right here for us. And it's so accessible. So, again, the word easy is not a good word to use as far as trading. Emotions always make it harder. Being in the right place at the right time. But what we're doing here is great, because if you navigate the markets the way we do and we just take each day, first, day trading is first. Then if the environment, or let's call it seasonality, if the environment, let's call it the environment, if the breadth or the environment or the strength or the weakness of the market lends the idea into possibly turning a day trade into a swing trade, dare I say investment, we pivot as long as the market is doing the right thing. And right now, liquidity, cash is king right now. There's no reason to try to swing trade in a market like this. Every other day it's up or down. This is a choppy sideways market, which lends to the day traders' ability to make money when most people aren't making money. This is a phenomenal day. Yesterday was a phenomenal day. You just got to stay with your discipline. And one of the disciplines is, once you have something that does work, stick with it. And that's the one cliche about the market everybody uses. Absolutely agree. The people that tell you that you have to keep reinventing yourself, no. You can tweak it a little bit. And that's what I think what I'm doing in here and what I'm showing people is more, again, the word easy is impossible to use. Where is my Alcoa now? I was hoping that thing would be back in the 30s. Hey, car keys. Oh, my wife has to go. So I just wanted to say hi, and just looking at the market today, the market's just doing exactly what it should be. And if you're not participating in it and you're not doing as well as you should be, come and hang out with me. I really have, and again, personal finances aside, what I do is irrelevant, okay? But if you are struggling, if you are being misled, if you've been duped, come and hang out. Meet my crew. We've got a nice little group of about 250, 300 people. Everybody's out trying to help each other. I've got some guys in the room that have taken VWAP and gone with it in a whole different direction. They've taken it and they're using it with what they believe in, and the combination. One of our guys in there, he's running his own thing. We got my buddy Solid, who's taking VWAP and taking it to the 100th degree. I tend to just stick with what I've been doing for the last 12 years. And next week I'll be participating with JC Peretz in the Chart Summit. So if you want a little half-hour crash course on VWAP and my setups, I'll send you a link for that. It wasn't my mom. No, it wasn't my mom. It was a friend of ours. But yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys are all having a good day. Hope you guys are all managing to stay liquid. I think this is going to be a nice buying opportunity when this correction is over, and we're going to go right back to that list of stocks that we did so well in at the beginning of the year. But again, by the time the correction is quote-unquote over, we'll be headed into earnings season, and then I'll be talking about the banks, big tech, interest rates, and all that. So cash is king, 5.5% SWVXX. If you don't know, it's a Schwab money fund paying 5.45 right now. If you do have TD Waterhouse, go into the research and ideas section under CDs. They scan the entire country for high yielding CDs. They have 5.5% 3-month CDs right now. Great place to park your cash. You're guaranteed the 5.5%. Phenomenal. And, I do not think they're going to cut interest rates this year. And I don't even think they're going to cut them last year. I think we're going to be able to survive as a society, around 4.5%, 5.5%. And hopefully they leave it there and let people make money on their cash sitting in banks finally. We worked hard enough to get to that point where we have cash in the bank. Now we can finally make some money on it. All right? Peace. I hope you're having a great day, and be nice to each other. See ya.